Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today on the show, we've got our good friend James. How you doing today, James?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Hey, I'm going to jump in and describe myself real quick for anybody who might be visually impaired or just listening. My name's Jerry. I got brown hair, brown eyes. I've got a headset on. I'm wearing an Accessiversity shirt, and actually, it was Accessiversity that suggested that we describe ourselves in the beginning. And I'm sitting up in my office at the Fledge in front of my studio here. So, James, how you want to describe yourself? No requirements.
Um, so my name is James Henson. For all that don't know, most people in Lansing knows me as Scorpion because I'm a freestyle dancer. I also danced at the Umbrella. If some of y'all have seen me, I also dance for all of the above, and I also do art and I sing a little bit. And I started a team called the Young Black Panther Party.
All right. So before we get into all those different projects, because I know you're a busy person and do a bunch of stuff, where were you born and raised?
I was born here in Lansing, Michigan. I was born in Sparrow Hospital around the corner from here.
Yeah. And you grew up in Lansing? Which side of town?
Uh, I'm gonna say all the sides. If I remember correctly, I grew up in East, West, and South, I believe.
All right. Where'd you end up going to school?
I went to Eastern, Everett, and Sexton.
You went to all three?
Yes.
I went to Eastern and Everett. Where'd you graduate from?
I graduated from Everett.
How long ago was that?
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I get schools mixed up. I graduated from Sexton, and
That's
that
what
was
I-
in 2017.
All right, that's what I thought you told me before. I was
Yeah.
surprised you said Everett. So now it's 2021. What you been doing since you graduated? And we can dive into art and music and the Young Black Panthers Party. I'm excited to talk about all of it.
Well, what I've been doing ever since I graduated, I've been pushing myself out there so I can make myself known in Lansing and outside of Lansing. So it's mostly through dancing, and through that, I've been getting a lot of notice because my dance styles is not choreographed, it's freestyle, and I dance to any kind of music. Doesn't matter if I heard it before or if I haven't. And then I've been doing art since I was a little kid. I used to dance and do art since I was a little kid. And some people knew me from my art skills, but when all of the above threw a event called a block party, I grabbed some spray cans and I made some big, beautiful African art. And I start getting noticed more by that also. And I just got done making two artworks today, and I'm going to finish them. And once I finish them, I'm going to sell them and stuff like that to use the money that I can get towards the Young Black Panther Party. So the talents that I have, I'm using my talents to somehow make money so I can use that money for good.
Yeah. Our good friend, I'm going to come back to that in a second. Our good friend Giannis wanted to comment. Well, first of all, she said holla to us, but she said her dance teacher at Hampton Dance said you're awesome. And she's looking forward to your guys' freestyle sessions. You got something set up with Giannis?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Me and her was talking one time, and she told me that she started getting more into dancing and how she started to do dancing like ballet, modern, start mixing them all together. And I told her, "You doing freestyle? That's my forte." And then I'm going to teach her a little bit of freestyle and martial arts and stuff like that. And I feel like it's going to be real fun.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you mentioned that in the beginning. You're a martial arts expert. Would you say that?
I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I would say I do a few martial arts. And I teach whoever want to learn. And I always do it for free because when I was little, I didn't have money to take the classes. So why should I charge people who don't have the money? And I'm
Yeah.
going and doing when spring warms up even more over there at the River Trail downtown in the little sandy area is when I'm going to be teaching a group of people martial arts, from Filipino martial arts to Muay Thai, boxing, and so forth.
All right. I want to have a beach wrestling tournament there at that beach this summer. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. But that's a whole different other subject. So martial arts and self-defense, that has a historical significance to the other project that we're going to talk about, right?
Yes.
Let's get into the Young Black Party or Black Panther Party. What do you want to tell us about that? And I'll have some questions too.
Well, I first started the Young Black Panther Party and last year, and it was like in June. It was in the month of June, and June 5th, when the protest was happening here in Lansing, I decided, you know what, I'm tired of us using our voices but not really getting stuff done all that much. So I decided to create a team. And when I created a team, I first announced it on TikTok, and then thousands and thousands of people started supporting. And all that did is make me believe that I can do it even more. So that's what I did. I made the logo, I created the name, I put the young in front of Black Panthers to make sure we don't get no disrespect or no like copyright names or something like that. And me doing that, I noticed that I started getting a lot of support, and it touched my heart, and a lot of people start helping. And it touched my heart because there's so much I want to do for the community, and not only for the community, something that I want to do for our younger generation. Because I'm planning to have kids. I've been in a relationship for many, many years, and I'm planning to have kids with the woman I love. And I also built the Young Black Panther Party on the behalf of my future kids and my girl, to not only protect her, but to protect our future kids and my future grandkids and everybody else who want to be a part of the Young Black Panther Party.
I like it. I like that motivation. Will you go through the history of the Black Panther Party and all of that? Because there's some old white people out there looking at you and saying, "What's this guy doing? This is scary." And let's get it right for everyone on the Black Panther Party.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I'm dyslexic, so I struggle with reading, writing, and spelling. So sometimes my memory is good, sometimes my memory is not good. So in order to make sure I attain knowledge, I watch videos of it. And even through the videos, depending how long it is, I have to try my best to remember it all. So I'm going to try my best to explain about the Black Panthers. I don't want y'all to think that as I talk, I'm missing a few here and there and stuff like that, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So for the start, I'm sorry for that, but I'm going to try my best to explain.
Well, first of all, thanks for telling us about that, and don't be sorry for anything, because you're going to be the expert, and we'll chime in too if we know something that we want to ask you about. All right.
All right. So, Huey P. Newton and all his other friends, when they started the Young Black Panther Party, they was young, 16 and up, pretty much. And the Young Black Panther Party pretty much just got tired of what was happening in their community, and they wanted to make a change. And in order to make that change, they had to not only sit there and talk and think, they had to get stuff done. And that's what they was doing, getting stuff done. And I idolize and have so much respect for the Panthers since I was a child. And I'm proud to call myself a Panther in a way, because what a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of white people who don't really know about the Black Panthers and I think they are terrorists, they the ones that have been in healthcare. corner medical centers that we have today. They're the ones that created food programs that we have in school. The ones that when we young, we eat breakfast during the morning at school. They the ones that created that. They done so much for the community to the point that we can explain it. But in a way, they done way more to the point that we don't really know all of it. And anybody can explain it, they can explain it. But since it was so many Panthers, we only know the big names and not the little names that also could have done something.
Yeah.
That did something. So the Black Panthers wasn't only known across the world. They were so popular that a lot of minorities around the world started making their own parties on the behalf of the Black Panthers because they seen what they was doing for their community. With the Rainbow Coalition, with the Black Panthers, with the I forget some of the names of the other parties, but I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about.
That's all right, man. We got this.
Yeah. But they end up getting a lot of respect for it. They teach a lot of their community self-defense. They teach them how to use guns. They teach them how to read. If none of them didn't know how to read, they fed kids at centers. They literally did so much. I don't even know if I can really explain it all and stuff like that. But all I have to say, long story short, is the Young Black Panther Party. Well, let me make it this way. We wouldn't got the stuff that we got today if the Young Black Panther Party, if the Black Panthers, there we go. If the Black Panthers did not create the stuff that we have today. If they did not exist, we wouldn't have healthcare. We wouldn't have food programs. We wouldn't have a lot of things, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And since they created all that, I'm very grateful for that.
And I think a lot of people are grateful, and probably a lot more people should be grateful. I think that, you've got the famous images of maybe Huey P. Newton and them, standing on that Capitol or that courthouse building with that guns and all that. And that's what I think some of the image is. But there were a lot of, like you said, they were feeding lots and lots and lots of people. And there's a bunch of females in it too, right? Because I think people think they see the males, but it was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was dominated by females. Like there were more females in the party than males.
Oh,
is that true?
Yeah, most definitely. It was a lot of females because a lot of Black females was tired of being discriminated, being called wild animals because of the way they are and the way they look. Because through history, back then a lot of white people didn't really allow Black women to have afros because white men will break their necks by turning around just to look at it and stuff like that. And not only that, Black women been through so much, they wanted to be a part of something. So when the Black Panthers was invented, a lot of women joined the Black Panthers because not only that they learned self-defense to protect themselves, they also had a chance to make something of themselves.
So Giannis is over here trying to steal my thunder because I wanted to tell you something that you might not know. And so what Giannis said is, when I think of the Fledge, I believe many of the things going on there reflects that of the Black Panther Party: empowerment, taking care of our own community and not relying on the government. And what I was going to say to you is that I got really motivated by the Black Panthers. And the more I learn about the Black Panthers, it's that direct action right to the community, giving up almost on the governments and the large institutions to be here for my Black and brown and poor friends in our community. And I just saw we had to do something about it. And when I looked at who had done something about it before, the Black Panthers, the Black Panthers, the Black Panthers, always coming up as that motivation, that group that motivated me to say, we can do this. We don't need all this other crap. So, I'm excited to have you on the show. I always, I met you at the Artist Umbrella when I knew you were dancing, and you started telling me a little bit about this, but we didn't get a long time to kind of chop it up. Then I saw you at Black Wall Street of Lansing, and you told me more about it, and I just keep learning more and more about you. That fascinates me. So, anything more you want to talk about the Black Panther Party? Because I want to ask you a couple things about food. I mean, it's still related, but I'm going to take an offshoot in a sec.
Yeah. For like a lot of people that's wondering about the Young Black Panther Party, the pretty much you do have to be Black to be a part of it, because the only reason I say that is mostly because there's a lot of the things in the Black communities that a lot of white people will not understand or get. And our young people need to see other dark-skinned brothers and sisters out there making a change so they can feel motivated to make that change also. And not only that, like when I say Black, in my eyes, if you light-skinned, if you mix, you are still Black to me. If you albino, you are still Black to me. If you brown skin, dark skin, if you almost the night sky, you are Black no matter what, because we all got melanin in our skin. And I want to make myself clear on that, because I will have a lot of young people that's mixed with white and Black or Mexican and Black, and they will ask me, can I still join? I'm mixed, but I don't know if I'm declared as Black. And I want to tell them until all of them on here that you are still Black, because when you go outside and leave that house, America see you as a Black person instead of anybody else. You will still be called names. You will still be bullied because of your skin. Your hair texture is almost same as mine, different than theirs, no matter what. So in my eyes, you are still Black, and that's the same thing with albinos. If you came from a Black woman, you are Black. Just because you have a little bit of pigment in your skin doesn't mean nothing else. And that's something I just want to make myself clear.
I'm glad you clarified that. How can people get involved? How can Black people get involved with the Young Black Panthers Party? Like, do you have a membership or?
No, there's no membership, to be exact. So like, for example, the Young Black Panther Party is not an organization. We're not a nonprofit, and we are not an organization. We are a team that don't rely on the government, and a team that only need to do things for our community, which means that as a team, we have way more as a advantage to do things than an organization. Because let's face it, if we're an organization, if somebody mess up, that relies on that organization. If the organization get blamed, they can take it away. So it's better for us to be a team, to be independent, and do everything that we need to do. And if you want to get in, we do have a Gmail. It's the Young Black Panther Party at Gmail. We also have a website, and we have an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook page, and a YouTube channel. And with that, pretty much, if you want to join, if you're here in Lansing, I pretty much have to meet up with you, because there is a contract that you have to sign that pretty much state that you are not allowed to drink or smoke within the Young Black Panther Party. And let me clarify on that one too, because a lot of people been getting that one mixed up. I don't care if you at your house or you at a party or you with somebody else. You can drink and smoke all you want, but the moment we go out to do community work or we go out to protest, do not come high, do not come drunk, do not drink or smoke while we're doing that stuff, because we will have members that own guns. Not only that, we don't want our name to be ruined, because people gonna think differently of us if we start doing that. That's the only difference. And then there's another rule saying that, like, if you own a gun, you must use if you own a gun and use your gun other than self-defense, you must deal in a court of law on your own terms. You cannot use the name of the Young Black Panther Party to get yourself out of court. Mostly because, like I said before, we're not an organization. So when you sign the contract, you're pretty much signing a contract saying that you are responsible on your own accord. And since you signed it, you know for a fact anything that you do, any mess ups that you do personally, is your responsibility to take that responsibility because you are an adult. So you need to act like an adult.
How'd you learn to organize all this like this? It's fascinating. I mean, I think you're covering your basis. Did you have a lot of help, or did you do this on your own and just have been building this like what you see and putting that together?
In the beginning, I've been mostly doing it on my own, and I've been like coming up with ideas overnight and not really sleeping, making sure I get everything done, creating the logo and stuff. And then I start reaching out to people that either work at the Capitol or have organizations, or start meeting people, going to the Black-owned businesses meeting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I start meeting big, important people with my skin tone, the more I just been more encouraged, to the point I start getting more help. And everybody that have helped me, I will always feel grateful. My mother always taught me to be grateful, not to be negative in a way. So anybody that ever helps me, I will always be grateful to them. I will not only be grateful, I will literally feel like I have to owe them a favor, because if they doing so much, I have to put that same offer on the table and stuff like that. So at the beginning, yes, I was doing it by myself, but now since I'm becoming a little bit closer, I wouldn't say we halfway there, but I want to say a little bit closer, I'm starting to get more and more help, and I'm grateful for those people that have been helping me.
All right. I'm impressed with what you're doing. I want to put the website out there. If you want to tell me what the website is.
Oh yeah, so it's on Wix. So the website.
Oh, it's a long. You know what? I'll figure out that afterwards, and we'll post it so everyone can get on it. Okay. Yeah. And then I also got another offer for you. I'll help you convert that over to your own URL and host it for you if you want to, so you can get it off Wix. So if we can buy the youngBlackPantherParty.com and get it all over there, let's get that done. All right. So we'll figure that out, though. All right.
Yeah.
When we were at the Black Wall Street of Lansing meeting a couple months ago, not this last couple, you were talking to me about and I'm going to get the name wrong. What's the name of that book that we were talking about? The Slave Remedies or something like that?
It was African American Medical, I think it was called.
It was?
Yeah, I think so, because I remember it says African American, and okay. It's a book that carries medicine from doing slavery, that like how to make herbs, how to help yourself if you have a scar, like open wounds, if you're dealing with muscle pain or something like that. It's a book that not only give you a little bit of history, but give you all the remedies and how to make the remedies. They give you the name of the plants. They give you ingredients of how to make it, and it's for your whole body. And what my goal for that is pretty much is, once I start making a garden, to not only plant food in Black neighborhoods, so people who don't have food can go to the garden, pick the food, replant the seed, just do it as a circle process. I also want to make a separate garden personally for the Young Black Panther Party, so we can make medicine, plant the herbs, make the medicine, and get it approved. When I find some people, get it approved, make sure the medicine is A-OK to use, and I want to give it away for free for the people who don't have money for medicine, for the people who don't have healthcare and stuff like that. Because let's face it, there's a lot of countries that don't charge to go to hospitals and get medicine. America charge, and a lot of people do not have that medicine, and I hate that. So I want to help out people by creating medicine that make them last a little bit more longer,
yeah,
shorter.
I love it. So I found you and I had chatted about it before, so I just went through our chats real quick while you were talking. African American Slave Medicine by Herbert C. Covey, in case anyone wants to look that up. Because I looked through that book. It's very, very interesting and very, what's the right word? Useful.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right. So a garden for food, a garden for remedies. I love it all. When's your next art thing? When's the next time you got any shows coming up?
Um, I'm working with all of the above right now, and shortly in a few months, we finna start teaching kids dancing. So, like last year before COVID hit, me and Jose Moore was pretty much performing and teaching kids how to dance. And when COVID hit, we had to stop, and it was two more classes that did not have a chance to do it. So we picking that back up to teach those two last classes. And I forgot which month it is, but Jose Moore gonna have to talk more to the people more about it and stuff like that. And gonna give me more detail. But that's only for that school, so it's not really. I talked to him more about it, to be honest, because I don't really know much. The stuff
All right.
I do know is for that class, but anything else beyond that, I really don't have no shows coming up and stuff like that. But right now, I am making art. I'm making art, and I'm trying to sell them. And I'm making two art right now, and they almost done. And when I get done making them, I'm going to sell them for like one of them is going to be 250, and the other one is 300. Mostly because I decided to make art so I can sell them and use the money to not only save up for a car, but also use the money for the Young Black Panther Party, pretty much to get the stuff that we need to get, because we need the money to not only get the stuff for community, but we also need money to get the stuff for the Young Black Panther Party, even if that may not have to get more training equipment to teach people self-defense, or make like business cards to pass out and stuff like that and for the people who's confused about the whole car thing, I'm also trying to save up for a car, mostly because I don't have one and I ride my bike everywhere in Lansing. And when I mean everywhere, I mean East Lansing, West, South, and North, literally everywhere in Lansing. If I need to go somewhere and I don't have a car or don't have a ride, I go.
And Lansing's dangerous as shit to ride a bike in. These cars will run you over in a second.
Yeah.
You ever get hit by a car?
Once.
I've got about 5 under my belt in this city, but I'm a lot older. So where can we see your art?
I'm gonna be posting them on my personal Facebook and in the market, and Facebook market and stuff like that, unless I can find somebody that's willing to sell my art that's not trying to get no profit out of it. Because there's some art businesses that will sell your art for you, but they take like 50 or 20% of the money, and I don't want that. I want all my money, because I'm the one who's putting all the time into it, and I need that money so I can put into the Young Black Panther Party and to also get the things that we need to get for the community. And speaking of the community, for the people who are watching, if you can spread the word about us, because my other plans is once I start recruiting more and getting more people into it, because we are recruiting 16 and up, I want to start targeting our communities by cleaning up the streets, by not only cleaning up the streets, by reinventing Black neighborhoods. Either if that's fixing up houses, making a poor house looking like a rich house, repainting, digging up certain people lawns, planting flowers on there, stuff like that. Make the neighborhood not look like something that somebody will call the cops on immediately. make a neighborhood look like you are safe to walk at night and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of Black neighborhoods that have safety watch, but in reality, even though we have those, everybody is not watching the streets, because some of them feel like if I watch the streets, if I leave my house at night, if I do this or do I that, somebody gonna come and do something. There's a lot of neighborhoods where just like, I'm pretty sure some of y'all have dealt with it. You sleeping at night, in the middle of the night, you just wake up because somebody's yelling in the street and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And people be afraid at night, and that's obvious. But I want to fix up neighborhoods. I'm going to fix up playgrounds that kids can easily walk past and easily go to without stepping on broken glass and cutting their feet. Because let's face it, some kids will go outside barefooted and stuff like that. And I know for a fact I need more recruits, but if you are white, Indian, Asian, any other minority, and you feel like you can't do this because of what I said earlier about Black people only joining, you can be an ally and still help out. We are not stopping you from doing that. If you want to help out, you can help out. If you want to spread the word, spread the word. If you want to do something that make you feel like you're a part of something to make a change, go for it. Because not only that, good buddies of mine, there's a White Panther Party, one in Detroit, one in Texas and stuff like that. But there's a White Panther Party. And if you're not really sure about a lot of things, or you're not really sure how you can join a team to be a part of something, talk to me. I can try to connect you to them. You can try to talk to the White Panthers and stuff like that. If you Mexican, I can try to connect you to a specific group here in Lansing. Because if you feel like you want to be a part of something, but more than that, instead of just giving a helping hand, I have some connections. I won't be able to answer all of them. I probably won't be able to give out all of them. And I probably won't know somebody that you specifically talking about, but I'll try my best to help you out if you want to be a part of something, because you want to feel like you want to help us out, but you want to wear a uniform, son. Because I know there's some of y'all that just want to wear a uniform, look cool, and be like, I'm ready. That's okay.
Yeah. So what do you do every damn day that pushes your mission forward?
Well, it depends, really. Mostly when I wake up every morning, I literally think of what I'm going to do next. And I make sure that I reach out to people who do interviews, make sure I reach out to some organizations, make sure I reach out to a lot of people, mostly because I'm not finna stay at home sitting in bed watching anime or movies or cartoons, waiting until somebody connects to me. I'm motivating myself to move forward because I need that motivation. Because if I don't have it, I would not build this. And if I did not build this, I would not have something that can protect my future kids and my future grandkids and everybody else's future kids.
I like it. And so does the crowd. Renee says, what an amazing young man. You give me hope, So you are amazing. You are very articulate and very intelligent. And I love what the way you're talking about this and what you're talking about. We daisy chain these shows together every day. So yesterday on the show, I had a university researcher who is in the marijuana space, the cannabis space on the medical side. And she's doing genetics and all of this. And the question that she wanted to pass to you was, how do you make sure to make sure there's room for everybody in the party? But I think you just answered it. When she asked me that yesterday, I said, there's a White Panther Party. And she said, there is not. And I said, there is. I'm telling you, James is going to talk about it. And I just answered it all right there. So you and the crowd are way ahead of me today. I must be snoozing off. So tomorrow on the show, we've got, or did you want to comment any more about that, about inclusion? Because there's going to be, you know how people are, you know, Black History Month, why isn't there a White History Month? And I'm not saying, you know, people are stupid like that.
Oh.
And, you know, so then when you say you have to be Black to be in the Black Panther Party, somebody's going to say something about that. But there's Black chambers, there's Hispanic chambers, there's Black pitch competitions. And, you know, I used to be against Black pitch competitions because I didn't think it was fair to the people that were in them. Like it was some, you know, league that was discriminatory. I didn't know. I was wrong, by the way. And I learned a lot about, you know, sometimes you just got to be with your own because you're raised different. You view things different. You're going to understand each other better. And you don't need one more white guy white-splaining and getting in your way and telling you no and telling you can't do that. And it took me some time to see that side of it. I was never racist about it, but I thought it was unfair, but I was wrong. I was super wrong.
Yeah. To answer your questions about the White History Month.
No, that wasn't my question.
I have no problem answering that anyway.
Yeah, answer
stuff like that because one reason only. Back then, every month was White History Month. Every year was White Year Month. For example, Black people could not walk on the same sidewalks as white people. If a white man and a white woman walked on the sidewalk, you have to get in the street, wait, let them pass, and keep on walking. That's the difference. Then on top of that, if you have White History Month, do you even realize what you'd be celebrating? You'll be celebrating KKKs of burning, raping, and murdering a lot of Black people, children, and Black men. You will be celebrating slavery of white men who will rape Black men, white men who will literally force the Black woman to have sex with them so her lover do not die and get hanged. You will be celebrating white women that be putting out lies towards Black men, saying that they raped them knowing that they didn't and getting them killed. There's even a book on Amazon that you can buy. I forgot the name of it. I think it was Slavery something, but the book was in black and white. And when you open up the book, it's nothing but pictures, only pictures of Black people being hung, killed, being burnt alive, stuff like that, showing you true images. And the reason why I'm saying this because my great granny was born in 1910. She was a house slave, and I knew her personally, which means that I knew a slave, which tells you that slavery is not that long ago. Which a lot of people will sit there and say, it happened so long ago, forget about it. No, it haven't. My great granny was a house slave. She was alive when Harriet Tubman was alive. That's how long ago it wasn't. And she died from arthritis, but she lived up to 98 years old. And I have a great grandfather. I don't really know much about him. He wasn't alive when I was born, but he was one of the people that worked in the Underground Railroad. And not only that, I also have a granny, which is one of the first Black women that served in the military. I come from a family that never gives up and that fights, but I also come from a family that know their history. And that being said, the thing is, a lot of white people will still never understand how much we explain. You can't really kill off racism. That's something that I want a lot of people to understand. Racism will always exist. You can't really kill it off. Yeah, a lot of young white kids and other minority groups and a lot of young middle age and older generations are starting to change their ways, but you also have to realize there is people out in the South. There's people that's in different locations that have kids and that teach their kids and their kids teach theirs, which means that racism is not going to fully end. It's not going to end at all. Like when you like there's random websites that you can video chat with random people. I've been on those websites before, and it's like it just pans until somebody new jumps on. And when somebody new jumps on, I will always get probably like a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, or a 12-year-old calling me a nigger, and then skip, which tells you that either if their parents do not teach them it, they learning it from somewhere, which also shows that racism is not going to die off sooner than you think, and it's always going to be around. That's why a lot of people still fighting to this day to get rid of it. But not only that, you also have to realize that how movies portray us. Movies portray us in a way that Black people seem like nothing but thugs, criminals, and crooks. Movies portray us as so many things, and they only show slavery, but they do not show movies of what our ancestors had accomplished. They just can't. They came out with a movie when was I think last year or 2019. They came out with a movie of Harriet Tubman freeing slaves doing Underground Railroad, but they have not showed any other Black historical movies of Black people inventing the light bulb, the peanut butter, the stove, the stoplights and stuff like that. They haven't showed those kind of things. So a lot of young brothers and sisters and a lot of young white people and other minorities only know us as former slaves, drug dealers, crooks, but they do not know our accomplished. And there's a lot of young people like me that's dyslexic, that have disabilities, that cannot read, that are blind, that cannot hear, that have to learn from books to learn more about our history. But even from the books, you have to find those books, which for some people is very hard to find. You can find any other book, simple, easy as that, but it's so hard to find specific books about Black people on their own.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't realize our skin tone, melanin, one drop of melanin can cost up to, if I remember correctly, $300.
Yeah.
Yeah, one drop of melanin. That's a drop of gold. Don't even cost that much. But our skin costs so much money because our skin actually can do a lot for the world, which means that we absorb sunlight. We do not get cancer from the sun. The only thing we get is darkness. We get more dark. That's it. But other than that, we get all the vitamins from our sun, stuff like that. That's why there's old videos resurfacing of Black people getting kidnapped, Black people missing their organs and stuff like that, because we contain something in our body that a lot of minorities do not carry. And there's a lot of higher power that knows that. That's why a lot of people also do not realize that Black people still deal with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
And we are still at the bottom of the food chain, which means that when Black people came to America, if you're from Africa or whatever, if Black people came to America, Asians, through Black people's eyes, is close to white. So let me clarify. So with that, a lot of Black people role models was also Asians, because how Asians became part of society so easily. But they still be discriminated against, which is true. But back then, a lot of white people will go up to Black people and say, act like Asians. They act more better than you. They're close to white. And for generations to come, Black people been trying to prove themselves to white people to the point that this is a new era, a new generation. It's 2021. Nobody ain't believing that crap no more. Nobody ain't dealing with that. So we all are looking up to ourselves and getting ready to do something about it and get stuff done. And that's stuff that a lot of people don't realize. And one thing that people do not realize the most is you cannot have a White History Month because one reason only. Your mind is so messed up in a way that if it was on TV shows, they wouldn't even allow it on a lot of countries. They will get rid of it immediately. And there's so much about our history, it can never be explained. It's about time you learn all of it. You either be dead or you'll be really old.
So I got a few comments there. One is, did you see the Black Book Drive that Mila and Lauren from Skin Studio 211 had the last few weeks? And then we gave away about, 120 books last week to young Black and brown kids in the neighborhood, with all the characters were Black characters and Black authors. It was very touching because the whole thing started because Lauren's son said, "There's a book with someone that looks like me on it." And it was the first book that he saw a young Black kid on the cover. So that was awesome. The second thing is, I think Lauren says still you wear sunscreen though, because you can get skin damage, but she's an esthetician, so that's what she does. And then I just want to also say, the other thing that got you a Black History Month was 400 years of oppression, even more. And so if we want a White History Month, we got to have 400 years of oppression first. So if we're signing up for that, it starts today. So, but I loved your passion through that and your facts that you're throwing out there. Very, very important work, James. Tomorrow on the show, I've got John Horford, who is, he's a basketball kid. He played for U of M. His brother Al is in the NBA. I forget where he plays for right now. But anyways, he's going to be on the show tomorrow. What question would you like me to ask John?
The one question I have for John will most likely be, when you train and have people of whatever minority comes and you train in basketball, have you ever had people on your team showing some kind of racism towards their own teammates, and what did you do about it?
Yeah, I like that question. I really want to hear his answer, because I bet it's going to be a good answer, because he doesn't let that shit fly. And I always change the question around for my guest and ask you too. So I want to ask you a different question I think it's related. If you're recruiting all these kids that are 16 or older from all over Lansing, and you can do that because you're you're east side, west side, south side, you've got roots kind of there where you've lived. What happens when you get one of these guys on the south side that doesn't like these guys on the east side? A lot of the fights between young Black men are really east side, north side, or east side, south side. You think you got a way to navigate through that? How do you navigate through that?
So I did create plans for that specifically. So if I get more people like that, people who have issues with other people within communities, I will literally sit there, talk to them, tell them, yo, shake hands, get it over with. If you got beef, do it out there. If you want to fight, do it out there. But at the end of the day, when you come back, you got to treat each other like family. If you really want to be a part of this and you really want to help out your community and get stuff done, treat each other like family. Put your problems on the side, because I promise you, at the end of the day, you're going to realize your anger was just stupid and it didn't mean nothing about it. You got to have more self-control. That's why there's a lot of people that calls us wild animals, because we let our anger take control over us so quickly. You are young. You have a long life ahead of you. If you start doing this stuff now, imagine where you're going to end up in the future.
Mm-hmm. I like that answer a lot. I'm worried about the kids because they're fighting the wrong people. They're fighting the wrong fight, in my opinion. And it's not each other they should be going after. They should be putting their energy behind you, man. You should be leading this place.
Yeah.
To be honest. To be honest.
I tell people all the time, if you have anger, if you have problems and all that, give me your anger and your problems. Give it to me. Give me all your energy. I have no problem taking it because I can use that energy for something. I can use that energy by going to the shooting range and shoot. I can use that energy by training in martial arts because a lot of kids have a lot of talent, but a lot of kids have a hard time opening up that talent. If they have anger or anger issues, don't speak to them like a child. Speak to them as an equal. Speak to them as an adult, and they will open up to you so much that you can bring somebody from the outside to the inside that who have the same talent as them and help them improve on that talent, and you'll probably get rid of all their issues and anger. Because a lot of people don't realize is, like me, I've been dealing with a lot as a child. I used to have a lot of stress, anger issues and stuff. Dancing took me out of it. When I dance, everything goes mute, even the music. So when I dance, I forget people's there. I forget people's cheering. I forget the music's playing. I literally put everything on mute because I'm in my zone. And there's a lot of kids who have that zone. If there's kids who have problems or beef, don't treat them like a child. Find a way that you can bring to them to get rid of those issues that they have so they can find a way to not only push it into that, but at the end of the day, they're going to feel so happy that they won't have beef towards the person that they hate anymore. Because a lot of people also don't realize that a lot of these kids mostly have beef either over a boy, a girl, relationships and stuff like that. And all they need to do is talk to somebody who dealt with a lot of relationships. Simply, like, if somebody stopped loving you, you can't get mad about it. You have to keep living your life because at the end of the day, the life you live is the life that people's going to remember you by. So if you go based off of jealousy, anger, and bloodlust, and whatever you have, people are only going to remember you as a negative state when you die. But if you take that cycle into something else and doing it not only as good, but do it as something that people will recognize and make money off of in a good way, people will recognize you and remember you as something better than when you die.
Man, you're amazing, James. So you brought up a bunch of issues. You talked about movies, you talk about gun violence and how the food and businesses and getting Black people back together to stay strong together. Are you optimistic when you see things like Greenwood District Studios, who's going to be making movies that's Black owned here in Lansing? You see like The Village with Erica and Michael Lynn that want to take on, helping kids out with literacy and school and all of that. You got Michael Lynn with the Advocates doing gun safety training, got you doing self-defense classes. Does this give you a lot of hope?
Yes, it gives me way more hope than you believe because I was born in 1998. So growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, we didn't have a lot of this at a young age. I didn't really have technology. I had a box TV, and a lot of young people don't even know what that is. I had a box TV and a VCR. And you can show some of these kids VCRs today, and they won't even know what a VCR is. They won't even know how to use it. But all the things I used to watch, all the stuff I used to do, mostly had white people shows I used to watch mostly have white people. But then again, I also used to watch Mexican soap operas and Asian soap operas and stuff like that. But I didn't really see color people all like that. And seeing this, because I'm 22 now, seeing this all grown up, I'm very happy and proud because we giving these kids hope. They are seeing something they have not seen at a really, really young age and just now seeing it, but they are having hope. They get to go to a movie theater. It's nothing but black movies with black artists and stuff like that. They get to go somewhere. They see a lot of black kids. They get to read books with nothing but black people. They get to do all this stuff. And I'm very happy for it because we are giving them something that we did not have.
Yeah. So I want to give a shout out to Alex Malone's out there saying a great conversation. Caleb Moss is out there. And then Elvin Caldwell. All of them I want to give a shout out to, and all of them are digging what you're saying. So as we wrap up here, what would you like to take us out with? What would you like to say to everyone?
One thing I like to say to y'all is live strong, live happy, have a wise mind, and don't die young and don't die stupid. Die strong. So to that I say, live on.
And I'm not going to mess with that. I will see you all later. Thank you so very much, Jan.